Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing good. This is the long awaited everything travel for babies. This is a long video, as you can probably see, so put me on in the background. I'm literally just waffling as I'm getting ready and doing my hair and makeup and talking through everything from my experience and my personal opinion. These things might not work for you, they might help you out loads. However, having took Ocean away around 5 times now and she's 5 months, I do feel like I have kind of trialed and errored a few things and I get asked a lot, so I thought I'd make a whole video about it, so maybe you can refer back to it, send it on to someone in need, or just watch it to kill some time. I don't know, but yeah, I kind of wish I had something like this to have watched when I was in the midst of planning my first holiday with my baby. So yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy, potter around your house, grab a cup of tea, put me on in the background, do whatever you wish, and I think that's all I needed to say. I hope you enjoy. I basically talked through everything in order, from packing and prepping to being on the flight, being away, and then I go over some questions at the end of things that I forgot. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. If I have, just message me, comment down below, and I'll try and get back to you. Hope you enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on IG, TikTok, all that. Enjoy the video. So I'm going to start from the beginning. Packing, prepping, everything that falls under that umbrella. Again, just to reiterate, this is just all from my experience and what I do. I have tried a few different routes in terms of the things you need to take away, because obviously things are really heavy, such as formula. Now obviously Ocean's dairy free, so we do have to take quite a lot of formula away, but I have noticed anyway that formula is more expensive on holiday, so it depends if you want to just purchase your formula when you're abroad. You might be breastfeeding. I take a spare little case, so I do like to be hands-free when I'm at the airport myself. Personally, if I was ever to travel on my own, I would have to figure out a way around it, because there's no way I'd take the pram. And also a little cabin wheelie case, I just think it would be too overwhelming, so I always end up giving the small case to whoever I'm with, whether it's Cass, my nan, my brother's been away with us. Jet2, EasyJet, Wizz Air, obviously please, I do recommend you still ring them, because things can always change. These airlines will always be chopping and changing their rules, I'm sure, but they've all said to me in a roundabout way that it isn't something you can find on their website, which is a little bit dumb, but I guess people would just take advantage of it. But if you have a baby under the age of 2, they do give you wiggle room and they will allow you to have around 10 kg extra, which is insane. And also allergy babies are allowed a whole other suitcase anyway. However, when I did put that on my story the other day, a mum did reply to me and she said that she flew long haul to, I think, Thailand or something, and the airline she flew with, which was a Thai airline, they didn't allow that, and her baby has the same allergy as Ocean, which is the cow's milk protein allergy. So this is where I'm saying you have to ring the airline first, but this is just a tip that 9 times out of 10 you can get away with it when you have a baby. They do just accept a little bit of lenience. Even, for example, this trip that I'm on now, I flew with EasyJet and I rang them beforehand and I just said, hi, my daughter has a milk allergy, I'm gonna need a little bit of extra weight. And she said, if you have a baby under 2, we allow extra weight anyway. You can have an extra case, extra weight in your own case, whatever you'd prefer. And I said, okay, can you email me that so I can have it in writing? And she said, there's no need. If you talk to someone at EasyJet, as long as they've got EasyJet uniform on, they will know. And when I got to the airport, I will be honest, she did kind of look at me a little bit puzzled, but I think confidence is key. I just said what I just said to you guys. I spoke to someone, they've told me blah, 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 and she was just like, okay, and tapped it in. So you do have to be a little bit confident with it and just kind of stand your ground. I know you might be thinking, what? at the end of the day, you've got a whole other human. They're going to need loads of stuff, and I think it is really fair that they let you have more stuff. I also really like, this is where I'm going to end up going off on tangent, so I will try and cover everything at the end on the Q&A. I have been recently treating myself to extra legroom because it is just a little bit more manageable with Ocean. Now she's getting a bit more wriggly, and quite a few airlines, when you have extra legroom, you end up being part of the speedy boarding, and then you are allowed an extra case anyway. So you just need to sit and think, what is going to make you less stressed? Having these conversations with all these air hostesses, I don't know what they're called when they're on the desk beforehand, the check-in ladies, and then if you can't be bothered to have these conversations and you are happy to just pay a little bit more for that extra bag, then you can do that as well. So back to packing. If you are going to be having that extra case, I like to put in all the formula. On this trip I put in nappies, wipes, I did chuck in my own shampoo and conditioner, just anything kind of heavy-ish, because it was going under the plane, so I knew it was going to be fine for that to kind of weigh whatever. Saying that, I have done a different route, which this is quite popular at the moment, but if you are like me and you are scatty, you might forget and not have enough time. You can do a pre-order at Boots and pick up your stuff before your flight, so that you don't have to put any of the nappies, wipes and stuff like that, anything else you want to buy, even your own shampoo and conditioner, sun cream, things that are heavy, you can pick it up from Boots. But you do need to remember to do that order about a week in advance. I went to do it about 3 days before this trip. This is the second time I've made this error, and they didn't have any slots left. So again, if you feel like you can be really organised, it is a great idea. I have tried it, so I can speak from both. The only thing I'd say, again, you need another little case, and it kind of needs to be empty-ish. So it swings and roundabouts. Part of me thinks it is a bit of a faff because you've got to put all that stuff, unless you're happy to carry it in one of the Boots bags, but they gave me all my stuff in a Boots box, which, how am I going to carry a box around the airport with a pram? So I'm so glad that trip was me, my brother and my nan, and my brother had quite a lot of space in his case. Borderline empty, but I did kind of pre-warn that one of them would be needing to do that for me. So you can do the Boots order. Again, if you have normal formula, that is a great way to pre-order your formula as well. I wouldn't always risk getting to the airport and buying your things from Boots, because that is something that crossed my mind before this trip. I thought, oh, do I want to put all these nappies and wipes and take up this weight? But a lot of the time I've noticed they don't have Ocean's size nappies at the moment. She's in a size 3 at the moment, and they always seem to have size 1, and then they have like size 5 and 6, so I wouldn't risk that if I'm being completely honest. And then back to packing, I always put her stuff majority in with me, because 9 times out of 10 she's with me, and Cass has been on a couple trips with us, and if he is, I will split the load slightly, but it's just, I feel like I've got into a really good routine of her stuff just fitting in with my case, and it kind of gives me a little bit of discipline. If you're an overpacker like me, it makes me just kind of stick to the amount of things I actually need for once. The best hack I have, I've shown it in a pack with me before, but I'll put a picture on the screen. I have it in the wardrobe here, but I'm not going to move the camera set up now. But I have a shoe hanger. I saw this on TikTok, I cannot take credit, but I've mentioned it to a few friends now and they've started doing it. So you get the shoe hanger, and they're all different sizes. I will link the one I've got down below. It's just from Amazon. Don't lose the little hooks because you're going to hook that on your wardrobe or on a door, and you're going to pack all your baby stuff in that. And I'm not joking, everything clothing wise, muslins, you can even put nappies in there if you've got the room, will fit in that door hanger. You are going to literally roll it up. That is it. And then as soon as you get to your destination, unroll it, hang it up, it's in the wardrobe, and I've done it for every trip so far with her, and it's worked a dream. I haven't gone away for longer than a week with Ocean. The longest trip will be at Christmas when we go for 10 days. But everything fits perfectly in this specific one for a week. I do 2 rows of her daytime stuff, 2 rows of her evening stuff, and then like random bits at the bottom, swimwear, muslins, there's some swim nappies in there, hats. I'm not joking, they are the perfect size. Picture obviously the size of adult shoe nets. Outfits, whether it's for a little girl and it's just a dress, obviously it will take up less, but if it's a top and some shorts and a hat, literally all fits in. If you can literally plan their outfits and then you just grab, and then I actually do, once she's worn it, I put them back in and I just remember which one she's worn. But you could, when you get there, do like a dirty and clean section. Best idea ever. It's just, you get so organised and everything kind of gets out your way of your stuff, because 9 times out of 10, unless you want to pay to have a whole suitcase for your child, it just separates it all. So everything in my case now is just mine. So in terms of what to take your baby, this is honestly going to be different for everyone. So this is obviously just speaking from me. For a week, for example, I will take 6 outfits for the night time for her. I do like to get her all cute and dressed up in the evening, and then for the day as well I put in 7. So the reason I put in 6 is just because there is 1 or 2 nights where we don't actually go out or make effort, so it depends what you do on holiday. If you're super chill and you never go out to dinner and you stay in like a self-catering kind of situation, then you might not even need to take anything like that. But I would just say for day, take plenty of vests. I like the little tiny short sleeve, literally like not even sleeve, they're like the vest straps. I take 7 of them. That is pretty much it in terms of clothes. Then I just take her swim stuff. I never take more than 3 swimsuits. The rest is just, you could take maybe like 1 little cardigan in case you get a little bit of a cooler night. But again, it's just pretty much preference on what you like to dress your child in, and kind of taking your first trip as a bit of a trial run. So for nappies, I think Ocean roughly has about 50 for a week. I don't know if that's excessive or not. We have had one trip where I took, I think, 40 and we needed to buy another pack. And when you're on holiday, these places, they know that tourists might need these things, so they can bump the prices up. I'd say if you are planning to take your baby swimming every day, it depends what age they are. When they're really little, I think off 1 swim a day is enough, so I'd take 7 to be honest. And then other things I pack off the top of my head, I can kind of see my case right now. So at the moment I've got a few T-Vim powders, I have Cowpole, oh, and a little hairbrush. I've got a little spray for her hair. I've got the My Little Coco detangling spray, just because when she sleeps her hair's wild because she's got quite a lot of hair. That just helps me restyle it with the brush. And then I've got her Nala's Baby body wash, but I have that decanted into, you know, one of the little, you can get the travel packs from a supermarket or from Primark. And also body lotion. And then that, I think that's all I've got in terms of her bits and bobs that she needs. But yeah, like I said, everything's decanted because that sounds like a lot. Even her little bottle of Cowpole, I've got a mini one. You can get minis of pretty much everything nowadays. And then, touch wood, I never need anything else. I don't bring anything like thermometers away. I do think if that was the case and she was poorly and I needed stuff like that, I would probably just call out a doctor or try and find that stuff, because God, my case was way about 1,000,000 tons to be honest. Right, muslins. I pack about 7 muslins. I'd say aim for 1 every day. I use muslins for everything. She's dribbling, she's in the teething phase at the moment. She likes to have a muslin as a comforter. I do have a little comforter that she has anyway, a little duck teddy thing, but if she's not too attached to it at the moment, she's not at the age yet. So if I can't find it, I'll give her a muslin because she just likes the feel of a muslin on her face. And then just for laying it on the chair on the plane, if you get up and you want to sit them for a second, or when we were around the pool the other day, I laid it down for her to be changed on. I just feel like it's handy to always have muslins. And then going off what I just said, I will take a little towel for her. I personally take just one of her little hooded bathrobes, just because it's easy to wrap around her if I get her out of the water on holiday. Basically, what I'm trying to go through in my head, so this is how I pack, is things you use day to day at home, but obviously you just need to go through your routine, because you technically are picking up your routine and just repeating it on holiday. Obviously babies need their routine and they need their bath time. I don't actually have a bath in this room, but for example, bath time is swapped out to shower time. So you just need to think to yourself out loud when you're packing, or whether you're writing notes to pack, what do I need for bath time? If there's specifically one thing that your baby really likes at bath time, which makes things smoother and easier, pack it. Then just hand luggage packing. So I like to take a big zipper bag. I'm gonna run and get it. So this is the hand luggage I've been using for the last couple of holidays. As you can see, there's a big zip at the bottom. There's a side zip. There's the main bulk, and then there's other zips. But this, for reference, is huge. And I know I said I like to be hands-free, but you obviously need a changing bag. So I put all of my stuff in the base. So mums, you're gonna have to whittle it down. I used to take so much unnecessary stuff in my hand luggage, but I literally just take my essentials, because you need the bulk of the weight and all the room to be obviously for your baby. In the top bit, I will put her nappies, wipes, so 1 pack of wipes, and I'll take, obviously it depends how long you're flying for, but for instance this time I put in 5 nappies, some nappy sacks, I put in a little bag, well I say little, it's actually quite big, of toys. I think it's really important to have things to distract your baby on the flight. And at the moment, again, it's all very age specific. We're in our chew era, so she's teething, so it's all chew toys. So obviously base the toys on the age. So when she was really small, her first flight when she was 11 weeks old, it was more like black and white sensory toys and the fidget spinners, things that she more wanted to focus on and look at more than like put in her mouth. So now it's a lot more softer, things we can put in the fridge, stuff like that. White noise, one of her muslins, and bottles. So bottles is what I get asked about the most, and I'll be honest, it is the one thing that I was so confused about before I went on our first holiday. So let's talk bottles and traveling. So I have tried a couple of different methods. I will say, if you are breastfeeding, firstly, amazing, you've got it the easiest. If you are formula feeding and your baby is on normal formula that you can buy over the counter, amazing again. If you are an allergy mum, then this is the trickiest. But again, it's not that hard. It's just, again, being prepared and organized. So the reason I say if you are a normal formula mum that you can buy in Boots, let's say Aptamil, Kendamil, whatever they're called, you can buy the pre-made bottles, which I know a lot of my friends will use them for travel, because you literally can have them, like you can just buy them and they're ready. You don't need to do all the prepping, sterilising the water and doing the different ounces and the powder, etc. You can literally just buy them. So I'd pre-buy them if I were you, just a couple to get you through the airport, or even buy one and then buy the others the other side through in Boots. One thing I was like, oh my god, I have no idea, and I kind of winged it, was going through security, because obviously I think the rule has changed, or it's changing now, but obviously in my whole 26 years it's been that you can only take a little small clear bag of liquids through. So I used to be like, wait, how can I take bottles through for my baby if there's a limit? How am I going to take all these? But You have no limit with babies. Take as much as you want. They cannot say anything. There was the first time I travelled, he actually took my flask of boiling water and poured it away, and I think I mentioned it in a vlog and someone messaged me like, that was so wrong, he shouldn't have done that. You can take whatever you want through for babies. They do have to test it. They'll just say, do you mind if we check it? And I don't know what would happen if you say no, but I just say yes. And you don't need to put them in a clear bag, just have them ready to put in the tray, you know, when it goes through the security, and then they will check it all and then you'll get it all back. And that is that. So there's no limit, do not panic, and you can take through the Actimel ready-made ones as well. Just, I think, make sure they're sealed. I mean, if you've opened one and started one, then again, they'll probably just check it. So what I do is I don't have it in here because my nan is with Ocean right now. Actually, I do, that's a lie. So I have this formula tub from Mam. I'll link it down below, but I think you can get them from anywhere. And just for example, because I'm about to go into this, these are what I did about 2 hours ago. I boiled the kettle and I've poured out the amount of ounces that she needs, and they are just stood just over there in our room. My nan's got one bottle with her, so these are for her next bottle. So this will last me till about, she probably has a bottle every 3 hours. So throughout the day, these will last me. And obviously if I need more, I'll make more. But that goes on to, so this is where, if you are pottering around and you've just put me in the background, pay attention if you have no idea what I'm about to say, because this is where it could get a little bit confusing. And there's probably someone on the internet that tells it a lot easier than me. I'm gonna try and dumb it down. Okay, so in your little dispenser, you're just gonna put the amount of scoops of formula you do. Obviously that's self-explanatory in each section. They are a godsend. I will say once it has leaked in my bag. So maybe put it in a little Ziploc sandwich bag, little clear pouch, just to be double safe if you are a bit of a paranoid, organised mum. I do actually put mine in there since I've had it spill once. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think, again, it's trial and error. It's what works for you, and it works for us. There's so many things you could follow, and I think you just drive yourself insane. But whilst Ocean was really, really little, she's coming up to 6 months now. So she is, like, she's licking everything. I'm sure she's absorbed. I can't sanitize everything is what I'm trying to say. But when they're tiny, you do need to obviously be a lot more on the ball. So technically speaking, if you read up on it online and if you have a prep machine, you should mimic your prep machine. When you use your formula, they say you should boil your water to, I think it's about 70 degrees. Again, please just, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what we used to do. We don't do it now. But obviously we do it at home because we have the prep machine. Sorry if you can hear the shower leaking, it's starting to drip. But I would always go out the house with so many bottles basically, because I would have her cool boiled water. So I'm trying to think the way I can say this the easiest. If your baby is on 6 ounces of milk, you want to do 5 ounces of boiled water in the morning, so when you leave the house, and you're just going to let that be in a bottle like I just showed you, and you're going to let that cool down. And then you're going to take a spare bottle, and that bottle is just going to be sterilised and empty. And when you are out and about wherever you need to be, for instance, once I went shopping for the day and I had my spare bottle, I went into Starbucks and I just said, can I please have a cup of boiled water? And they'll give you a massive cup, because that's what, like, you can't say, well, can I have an ounce, and expect them to measure it out. So just say, can I have a small cup of boiled water? And then you do need to be somewhere where there's a table because it's quite fiddly. Well, once you get used to it, you'll be fine. But if you have the Man bottles, which I highly recommend, the lids have measurements on them. And then you're going to measure out 1 ounce of boiled water, so hot at that time. And then you're going to have your empty bottle. Sorry, I'm just trying to, so you know you've got your empty bottle. So Starbucks have given you a cup of water. You've got your empty bottle, you're gonna tip in your formula, so one of your compartments, and then you're gonna pour in to the lid of the man bottle your boiled water to 30 ml. So 30 ml is 1 ounce. So remember earlier I said you're gonna make a 6 ounce bottle if that's what you're making. If it's 5, then you just obviously do differently, so like 4 and 1. And you're gonna pour that 1 ounce into your formula, and that, they say, sterilizes the formula. So I don't know, this is if you want to be really I guess the word's like anal about it, and you're really paranoid. I did it for ages. I did it for a really long time until I actually spoke to one of my friends. I'm not gonna say who it is just in case she doesn't want me to, but she was like, you're wasting so much time, just mix her formula with cold boiled water, she'll be fine. But I am glad I stuck to it, and I would do it again if I was to formula feed my next baby. It's just checking that everything they have is very sterilised. So I don't know, maybe it's in case a flick of dust has got in your formula, I don't know. So you're putting that hot shot in. If you have a prep machine, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You're basically copying what your prep machine does. So you put your bottle under, it does a hot shot of boiled water, and then you put your formula in and mix it up, and then it puts in cold water, and you've got your perfect bottle. And then, so once you've put in your lid of shot and then you've mixed up your formula, then you get your other bottle that has your cold boiled water from this morning, and you pour it in, and you got the perfect bottle, perfect temperature, everything. Now I know some people are going to be like, oh my god Sid, that is so time consuming, why have you not got a newbie rapid cool? I've never used one personally, and yeah, I'm just obviously talking from experience. I know people like to use the rapid cools, but I can't speak from that. I have actually got one, I've just never used it. So that is what we would do. So it's just a lot of prepping, and you will have a lot of random spare bottles, but it worked for us. It might just mean you need a bigger bag and you just need to be organised, but I get asked that all the time, so I hope that makes sense. I just went to get a water because I'm talking so much, my mouth is so dry. Oh, so now, like I said, I will do what I just showed you with them bottles. I'll boil the kettle in the morning, and I will just pour in her amount she needs, and I will let that cool down, and I will mix her formula. Don't come for me if you think I should be doing what I was doing before. Like I said, it works for us. I know a lot of my friends have always done it that way, and they think me doing the longer method before was just very over the top, but it is preference at the end of the day, what you feel more comfortable doing and giving your baby. Another hack, which I have learnt recently, which is great. There are certain bottled water companies that you can use to mix your formula. Now, Ocean will take any temperature. She will take it warm, she'll take it freezing. I don't know if there's a specific temperature you're supposed to give your baby, obviously not hot. You should always test it on your wrist or just like the sensitive part of your arm to check it's the right temperature. I'm sure you know that. But there has been the odd occasion where for whatever reason I just can't get hold of boiled water, whether I've been out for too long that day or whatever. So one day I just googled, I can't even remember the circumstance, but I was just like, this got to be something I can use, because obviously it's a lot harder, she's dairy free, so I couldn't just run into Boots and buy a pre-made bottle. And there are bottled water companies that are fine to mix with formula, but not every bottled water company. Evian is one of them. Basically, I'm not going to go into the science behind it, but they have different, I think, pH levels. I could be completely wrong, but if you Google bottled waters that are okay to use with formula, you will see, and they will tell you the ones that aren't good. You can read all about it. Like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of it. So I think that's everything packing and prepping. Oh, I also take sun cream for her. Again, do your own research. They say don't put sun cream on babies under 6 months, but I put sun cream on myself every day, so why would I not put sun cream on my baby every day? That's all I'm going to say on sun cream. I use the Child's Farm Factor 50. I really like that. I've not tried anything else. I really just like that one, so that's one I've stuck to. Right, so now, random other things that you need. A travel pram. I won't hear anything else other than you need a travel pram. When people take their own prams away, I mean, if it works for you, it works for you, but I cannot imagine taking my big home pram away. I think it, as much as I love it, and I know that she might be only a little bit more comfier because it's a little bit more robust, but travel prams, the one I recommend so much is my Jules Air. Oh, I just love it. I know the Yo-Yo Baby Zen is a great one too. I was choosing between that one and the one I've got. And I do actually have a contact at Pram World, and I spoke in depth with one of the staff there, and she basically told me what the feedback from customers was. And at the moment, obviously it changes all the time, but at the moment the Jules Air is like their best seller, and there's a few things it does that I'm not here to sell the Jules Air. I don't get any commission or anything, but I love it so much. It lies completely flat. It does say on the website it's not suitable pre 6 months, but they're not actually allowed to advise that you can buy it for tiny babies because it doesn't technically lay like that, but it literally lays like that. I'm not kidding you. So they can't actually write that, just for like, I guess like insurance purposes and stuff like that. But perfect. She's been in that travel pram since she was 11 weeks old, and I literally saw someone at the airport and the lady spoke to me and she asked me how to do something with the pram. She was like, I'm so sorry, I've just got this pram, and her little boy was 2. So I don't know what age they can be in it till, but I love it so much and I recommend it all the time, and I've got so much use out of it. It's cost per use already in girl maths, it's been free. So yeah, you need a travel pram. Our one folds up, so does the Yo-Yo, and it goes above the overhead compartment. Not to go on about it too much, but I would fight for getting that pram on board. Some airlines, I think every airline I've been on, they've tried to take it off me, and I say no, this is cabin approved. It is more of a new thing. Going back to when I was a baby, you just gave your pram in when you gave your suitcases in, but you can take your pram as long as it's cabin approved on the plane with you. And you kind of just, again, you've got to be confident. You've just got to say, no, this does go on with me, thank you. And they will try and say, no, we need to take it off you, and just say, no, I really need this for my baby needs to go straight in the pram as soon as we get off this flight, and it just, please just let me take it on. And they will in the end just be like, okay, because, and then they do normally, I always see them looking out the corner of their eye watching me put it up, and then they'll like look away like, oh, okay, it does fit up. Because I think they think I'm gonna get to put it up there and be like, oh, sorry, you were right, it doesn't fit. But like I said, it's probably because it's a new thing. Fan, I take her fan everywhere. I'll link the one down below we've got. It's quite self-explanatory if you're going to a hot country, and also on aeroplanes they can get really hot. So I always take her fan. Carrier, I take her carrier, now she's a little bit bigger, on the plane with us. I always leave it under her pram. It goes quite flat. Most carriers go quite flat, and if I fold her pram up, I can leave it in the base and it's completely fine. And then sometimes, if, I don't know, it depends. If you want to collapse your pram as soon as you get to the doors of the plane, it can be a little bit of a faff, and it depends if you're one of them and you're really confident and you don't mind if people behind, you will get people behind you like, oh, couldn't you have folded that pram earlier? Maybe, maybe not. You can kind of fold your pram up before you get on the plane. A lot of the foldable prams have a strap so you can have it on your shoulder, a bit like a bag. Not the lightest thing in the world, but it's not the heaviest. And then, or if you've got someone with you, they could hold it, and then you can put the baby in the carrier, and then you can go in and you're ready to sit down. And then I think that's everything we take. So the second part of this video is me talking about things on holiday. So Ocean sleeps in a cot. She doesn't co-sleep with me, so it depends what you do. We just ask the hotel beforehand for a cot in the room. So for example, they've just left one in our room before well, they do it, I think they do it every time. I think there's only been one trip where I've had to ring up and remind them, and they're like, oh my god, so sorry, like we'll bring it up now. And they are the generic kind of like toddler cots. They're not going to give you like anything fancy schmancy, because obviously it's just free to use while you're here. So if you have a specific cot you like, maybe you want to bring that. I know someone that takes her Snoo, which is one of the moving cots. She takes that away with her. So it depends how bad and bougie you want to be, to be honest. Or if your baby only sleeps in one specific thing, if you want to be smart. Sterilising bottles when you're away, that is what I got asked a lot about. So at the moment, this trip, I emailed this hotel beforehand and said, do you have a steriliser? You just need to have a lot of time ready beforehand, whether it's talking to airlines, talking to the hotel. Not even a lot of time, just find their emails, ring up, whatever you fancy. They didn't have a steriliser, so I like to use these are just the Tesco own ones, sterilising tablets. And then I take a bottle cleaner, just a bottle brush, and some fairy liquid. This was a facial cleanser, but it's just a little bit smaller than obviously fairy liquid bottles. And then I fill that up and I wash my bottles as you would at home, hot soapy water, let them drain. And then with the sterilising tablets, there's all the instructions obviously in the box, but just fill up the sink with cold water. I just fill it to the top and then put in the amount of sterilising tablets you need. I'd always take way more. I always buy 2 packs, so you end up with like 100 tablets. But one trip we ran out. And what did we do instead? Oh, we had the man bottles, so we had to go to the restaurant every day and ask them to put them in the microwave for us. So you can also ask if you can have a microwave in your room, but a lot of hotels will, I think they give you like a higher fee for that. So it depends, obviously that's worth it as well. But sterilising tablets have been great for us while we're here. Again, I have friends that take their steriliser away. It depends if you prefer to take your steriliser with you, if you'd rather have that weight taken up. And then when you're away, I think babies are a lot easier to manage when you are away. Personally, I think Ocean sleeps a lot better when it's hot. It's quite easy to have a routine because you're not busy doing things you'd be doing at home. I just know roughly she sleeps every hour and a half. I stick to the wake windows. And yeah, she sleeps really well in her pram. A lot of people ask how I get her to sleep well in her pram. I think it's just practice makes perfect kind of thing. She's very used to her pram. And I guess some people might be like, is it right that your baby sleeps in her pram a lot? But she sleeps so well in it. We've got a pram liner, which is the Bambina, I think. It's one of them fur liners. A few people have said to me before, is your baby not too hot in that on holiday? But it's one of them. It's really good for heat. It keeps them cool, and then it's also good for the winter. I don't know how it works, don't ask me, but it's always sold out online. It is a bit of a premium price. It's like £100, but you can keep it for ages and ages. Again, cost per wear. I put it in her other pram on my home. She loves it. I feel like she's really comfy in it, and she sleeps so well. If she wasn't comfy, she wouldn't sleep well. And like I said, the jewels goes like pretty much this flat, not specifically like that. So she sleeps a dream when we're away. Right, that was inevitable. I've been talking so much that the camera died, so I plugged it in, but I've had to move the camera slightly if the angle's changed so it can charge. But yeah, I think I was saying, when you're away, everything else you have is just honestly preference. So for example, this is the first time we've bought something like this. Literally bought it while we're here. I have took stuff in the past, like swim floats and stuff, but I just think sometimes it's easier to just say, buy a €10, this was €10, I think maybe 11, and just say I'm gonna buy something when I'm out there. And I'm gonna take this home because she loves it that much. But this is just a little tiny boat, and she fits in it perfectly. She's at that age where she can sit up now, and we put a little bit of water in it, and she's having the best time. So it's so much easier for us to put her in there instead of putting her in her swimsuit with long sleeves and long legs, and she gets so frustrated because obviously she's so hot, and we can just chuck her in here. So I would say getting the big ugly toys is necessary when you're away, because obviously they get so much enjoyment out of it, and also it's practical because it keeps her so cool. Another hack is wetting big muslins, just like wringing them out and just covering the baby in the muslin. And fan, that is all I can say in terms of tips for keeping your baby cool. Obviously in the shade all the time. Her swimsuits are all UVP, I think it is 50, so if you, quite a few of hers are from Amazon actually. If you just type in baby swimsuits with UVP, I'll double check, I'll put it on screen if I've got that wrong, but UVP protection 50, because sun can penetrate through the swimsuits. And then I put sun cream on her, and also hats, but a lot of the swimsuits will come with little swim hats as well. I think I've covered most things, and that is all I'm going to do with makeup. I'm not going to put any mascara on. So I'm really quickly going to look, I put a question box on my story, and just see if there's any questions that kind of jolt a topic that I've missed. Oh, how do you prevent mosquito bites on your baby? I have no idea. I've had a few bites this trip actually, and it's still not sprung to my mind. I don't know. If you know, let me know, because I don't know if you can use repellent on your babies. I'm not sure. Covered that. Time zones, jet lag. Not actually experienced it yet, but I will say I've spoke with Molly about this when she takes Bambi away. She told me that she sticks to UK time unless it's ridiculous. So for example, we are actually going to Dubai in a couple of months, and there will be, I think it's a 3-hour time difference. So for example, if Ocean's bedtime is 7, we put her to bed at 10. Not me working out my fingers. And then it's easier to transition when you're home. Obviously, if you're going to go somewhere like America and it's going to be a bigger time zone shift, I don't know, I can't answer them questions yet, but I just assume you're going to have a couple of tough nights maybe, just getting them back into time zone. But we've not actually experienced that yet. The only time zone difference we've had is about an hour, which is obviously very manageable. And like I said, times with sleeping and stuff at the moment, she sleeps really good in the pram, but I'm a little bit more lenient on holiday. She's not in the strictest routine in the world. She's 5 months old. As things progress and we are more strict with a routine, and once she has more of a bedtime, then we'll have to kind of cross that bridge when we get to it. But she will sleep in her pram, like I said, and because she's so used to being in that environment, she can sleep through anything. I think most babies can sleep when there's loud sounds going on. That's one of the best pieces of advice I got given when I was pregnant, is live life normal. If your baby's sleeping and you need to hoover, turn the hoover on. They'll get used to it, and especially if they listen to white noise, it normally does drown out sounds. Oh my god, I forgot one thing from the travel bag. Oh my god, the travel changing mat. You need one that folds up. I've not got it here, I know my nan's got it with her, but it literally folds up. And you open it up, take it everywhere. I literally take it everywhere at home as well, because baby changing units, they're never clean. If you want to take sterilising spray, oh my god, sterilising spray, the Vital Baby sterilising spray. It's because I've mentioned these in my baby essentials video as well, that's why they've kind of slipped my mind. I have a little one with me here. I take it everywhere because she drops her toys all the time, and I will just spray it down. It's a sanitizing spray that is okay for babies to put in their mouth. It's got no alcohol in it, it's got nothing bad in it, and it just is a quick way of sterilizing things, dummies, whatever. And yeah, the changing mat, I take it on the plane with me. I have one with like a little slot for nappies and wipes, so I will also just be super prepared and put in nappies, like 2 nappies and wipes, so that if I'm on the plane and I can see there's no queue quickly, I'll just like quickly grab it and then run into the toilet with her and change her. It is really small and compact in the airplane toilets, obviously, as you'll know, and especially when you put down the baby unit, so just taking as little as you can. That's why I put the things that she needs in her changing mat, because if you take in that big bag I just showed you, oh my god, you won't be able to move. Do you take your own sheets for the travel cot? No, I just assume that they would have given me clean sheets, a bit like your own bed here, and they always put sheets on the cot, which maybe you don't know that. I don't know if I would have known that actually, but no, whenever I've got into the hotel room and they've given me a cot, they've always put little sheets on, which is cute. Even one hotel gave, obviously she didn't use it because babies can't have pillows, but they gave me this little tiny pillow. It was so cute. What does Ocean sleep in at night? So at the moment, she's been sleeping in a sleep suit, nothing else underneath, no vest, and that's fine because like I said, we have the aircon on in the day. And I think it is quite cool at night in this room, but yeah, obviously I don't give her, she hasn't got a duvet like we do, and I would just have her in that. I won't put a blanket on her, or if it's really really hot, I'll put her in a vest and then I'll tuck a blanket under the edges with like the holes in it, the cellular blankets. There's a lot of questions about car seats. So car seats, I'm very aware obviously in my job that there's certain things in life that you just shouldn't talk about, because I know that people are hot on car seat talk and I just don't want to get anything wrong. It's honestly, obviously it's about a baby's safety. So I don't even know if I've mentioned the car seat I use at home. So when we're traveling to the airport, we 9 times out of 10 take our car everywhere. So we'll book a parking space, so we've got our car seat in the car, and then like when we get back to Gatwick, my car's in the car park and obviously her car seat's there. So that's fine, that's sorted. And then one time we got a taxi. I always book with a taxi firm that's really close to my house, and we took her car seat in the taxi. I can't remember why we didn't drive. Anyways, and the taxi took it back, and they will keep it in their taxi office. And you just need to text them the day before, just say, can I take your number to remind you to bring my car seat back? Or I've been away and got dropped to the airport, and then I needed a taxi to pick me up. So I got a family member to drop off Ocean's car seat at the taxi office for the pickup. So there's different versions for that. And then this is where I'm going to really quickly skim over this. You need to do your own research. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know if this is right or wrong, please don't come for me, I'm just trying to be honest. Like I said, I feel like car seats is a really tricky one. I know there's a lot of big Facebook groups and I just don't want to end up on one of them. Please don't come for me. I ring up and ask the car companies if they have car seats, and I ask what model and make they use, and that is what I go by. And obviously if I wasn't happy, I'd take my own. I would 100% take my own, and you can check them in, but obviously be aware that you might lose it. I don't know, if you want to put maybe an air tag on it, it could get damaged. I know some people even take their car seats on the flight with them and they book a seat out. So I would just say it's one of the things you just need to maybe dedicate an hour of your life to looking and researching and seeing what you feel comfortable with. But we 9 times out of 10 will hire a car and make sure that they've got a car seat that we're happy with, that is new as well. I always check that it's new or bought that year. If they're like, oh yeah, we've got a car seat in the car and it's been there for 10 years, then obviously that's what I'm going to say on car seats. Oh, any tips for their ears? Yes, feed your baby on takeoff and landing. That's the best thing I can say. There has been the odd flight where she just does not fancy her bottle or landing, so I just make sure she's got a dummy. Obviously if your baby doesn't take a dummy and won't take their milk, distract them, I'd say. We took the headphone, like earmuffs, for the first couple of flights when she was tiny. I thought that that was going to help with the pressure, but essentially they're more for like muffling out sound. I know a lot of babies that have to be in crowds and like football stadiums and concerts and stuff, they are great for them. We've still got them. They will last her up until I think she's like 18 months old. So if we were to go to like a wedding or something, I'd take them, but I didn't bring them on this flight just because she's at that age now. She's very aware and she just rips them off, and she seems, I don't know whether it's because she's used to flying now because she's been on quite a few flights, but I just do the feeding and obviously the swallowing. If you think about when your ears pop, I always like blow my nose kind of thing, but babies can't do that, so it's that swallowing motion that helps their ears, and also sucking, so the dummy helps as well. But I'd say the best is milk. How to keep them happy and not crying on the plane? Babies will cry. I've only had one bad-ish flight with her, and even then I think I got off and people could see around us that I seemed a bit flustered, and they were like, she was really good still. Like, people will be able to see your baby is a baby. You will maybe get the odd person around you that's like, oh, huffing and puffing, but who cares? I think as long as your baby is okay and well, I was about to say happy, but sometimes they won't be happy because they want to be not on that plane, they want to be in their bed, or they want to be playing. You just need to have, like I said, a big mixture of toys, some milk if they're at the age where they're snacking on things, some snacks. It is just, I mean, we've got our longest flight in November coming up, and I would be lying if I said, oh, we're so excited for it. Like, it's probably going to be the most challenging flight yet, but you know, it's life. We want to travel with Ocean, and it just comes with it. So I actually don't have tips and tricks for that. It's just making sure that they are okay. That's all that matters. Also, I forgot, like screens. I know screen time gets a lot of backlash, and Ocean, I can count on my hands probably the amount of times I've given her a screen to watch. If the telly's on in the background in our room, like, she will just look at it. Their babies, they like lights and colours and stuff, but sometimes we've got our iPads for us to watch shows, and like I said, she will kind of like home in on what we're watching. Obviously she has no idea what's going on, but just the last flight I did download like a Nemo thing on Disney Plus, and it was a moment in the flight where I put it on, and it did keep her quiet for a little while, but she was still getting a little bit agitated because she was tired. And yeah, I think if you just need to not worry about what other people think. If you want to take a screen for them, let them have a little bit of screen time on the flight. If you haven't got a TV on your flight, obviously if it's long haul, you'll have a telly anyway. Can you take Cowpot in your hand luggage? Yeah, I would say you can. I haven't done it, but I'd say you could put it with your bottles, because they will know it's for your baby if they can see you've got a baby with you. How to keep Ocean shaded on holiday. So the Jules Air, we have the pram. This is another really good selling point for it, where people love it. The hood of the pram comes down pretty much completely closed. There's like that much of a gap, so we don't even need to use the snooze shade, which I do have, unless you have a normal bigger pram and it's a big gap when you shut the hood. The snooze shades are great for stuff like that, but we never really use ours because our Jules literally nearly closes, and if there's a tiny gap on her foot, we've always got umbrellas around. If we're on holiday, we're sunbathing, there's always umbrellas. If not, I'll go into a little coffee shop while she's napping. Just obviously the priority is your baby being shaded, so you need to just find some shade really. Reusable or disposable swim nappies. I use what are they called, little swimmers. I've not tried the disposable ones, to be honest, but she's never actually pooed in one, so I probably could. I think I've covered mostly everything, and this video is going to be about an hour long, but do you know what, I don't really care, because hopefully this has helped some of you. If I have missed anything, please comment down below or DM me. There are things that I don't even know yet. Like I said, I've not done a long haul flight with her yet. She still is at quite a good age where she's not really on the move. I know things will get harder, and please don't watch this and think she's got it down to a T. There's no way I have. I'm still figuring a lot out, and don't get me wrong, I don't say this to scare anyone, I'm just being honest. Each flight is a little bit more challenging because she's getting older. It's inevitable, but the more I fly with her, the more confident I'm getting. And like I said, as long as she's happy, as long as we get from A to B and I've got everything I need, that's all that matters. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This was really odd that I like got half ready and done half my face, but my main thing was, I've literally got this random clip in as well. My main thing was I wanted to straighten my hair. And yeah, I hope that helps. I hope you can refer back to this. You might watch this and think, what a load of old shit, but you know, these are things that work for me, and send it on to a friend if you think that they might enjoy it. And feel free to send me some tips as well. I love taking on board new tips and tricks and testing things out. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Hope you're good, and if you have a holiday coming up, stay calm. That is what I needed to say. Just stay calm. We've all been there. You will have stressful moments, but if you're calm, 9 times out of 10 your baby will be more calm, and if you're stressed, your baby will know that you're stressed and they will more likely get stressed. Love you all. See you soon.